Council's approval of the 2019-2021 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy Paper. There is more on the potentials of the semi-border post, inaugurated just yesterday. Also tonight, the Senate and House of Representatives were busy with national issues before adjourning for 2 weeks to carry out oversight functions. On News Extra tonight, Kaduna will feature, I'm sure you know what's happening there. And from Calabar, the crocodile has started smiling. Criminal elements to beware and take proper dressing. Port Harcourt International Airport is back on stream. We'll show you the state-of-the-art airport the president will be commissioning live on NTA tomorrow. That's some of the highlights of the News Extra tonight. Of course, we have the usual business, sports, development and health stories and many more. So, sit back and enjoy the bulletin. Before I start, let me ask you this. Will you for any reason patronize stew prepared and imported from China? We'll talk about that later. For now, let's welcome you to News Extra. I am Fatima Abbas Hassan. And we begin with the meeting of the Federal Executive Council. The Federal Executive Council has approved the 2019-2021 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy Paper as basis for the 2019 Appropriation Bill to be forwarded to the National Assembly for consideration. The Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udoma, announced this while briefing journalists after the meeting of the Council. He said the document is a product of wide consultations with relevant stakeholders. State House correspondent Adam Musambo reports that the meeting, presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari, has also given its nod on the provision of critical infrastructure projects.
Designed to translate the strategic development objectives of the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan into a realistic and implementable budget framework, the Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy Paper projects 8.73 trillion naira as budget size for the year 2019. This, the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udoma, said is about 400 billion naira less than the 9.12 trillion naira 2018 revised budget.
The key highlights are the following assumptions which are being proposed for the 2019 budget. Oil price benchmark of $60 US, oil production of 2.3 million barrels per day, exchange rate of 305 naira per US dollar, and the growth rate, GDP growth rate of 3.01%.
On her part, Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed announced the Council's approval of a $1.5 million loan from the African Development Bank towards financing the multinational Abuja-Lagos Corridor Highway Development Project.
The African Development Bank in 2016 approved the total sum of $13.5 million US for the whole of the highway project, that is 6 lanes, to finance both the study in the form of a loan as well as a grant. So this $13.5 million has been distributed amongst the participating countries, and the component for Nigeria is $1.5 million US.
Still on roads infrastructure, approval has also been secured for the rehabilitation and reconstruction of Lagos-Badagry semi-border road.
The council approved 46 kilometers from Agbara through to semi-border. And out of that 46 kilometers, 24 kilometers will be 6 lanes, and 22 kilometers will retain the current 4 lanes without expansion, but with reconstruction and rehabilitation. Contract price was 63.023 billion.
The council also approved the construction of Gwarzo-Karaye 20-kilometer section of the Gwarzo-Kwanandangora-Karaye Highway in Kano State at more than 1 billion naira, as well as the termination and re-award of contract for the 10 megawatts Kasina wind energy project.
We have 37 turbines there. The 15 we have completed is generating about 4 megawatts of energy already being used by the distribution company. But the main contractor, the French company, are not giving us the kind of cooperation that we want.
121.07 million naira has been approved out of the existing contract for the project to be completed in 5 months. And in the area of water supply, Water Resources Minister Suleiman Adamu announced the approval of 12.1 billion naira as revised cost of contract for the completion of Zobe Regional Water Scheme in Kaduna State, started since 1992.
Kaduna State government is going to be committing between 7 to 10 billion naira for phase 1B of the project, while we work on this phase 1A and phase 2.
Information Minister Laya Muhammad used the opportunity to clear the air on the reappearance and recent outburst by Nnamdi Kanu.
It has proven is that all along, when Kanu disappeared and the mob was holding the Nigerian army, asking them to account for the whereabouts of Kanu, I kept saying that Kanu knows where he is, and it was not in the custody of the federal government, and I think we have been vindicated today.
The Minister of Information and Culture, Laya Muhammad, told journalists that at the appropriate time, the federal government will make its position known on the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Now, what do you know about the globally accepted financial reporting standard, and how will it be beneficial to the public service? Well, this next report is on an effort by the federal government to sustain reforms in the nation's treasury, and it is cutting across ministries, departments and agencies of the Federation. Leah Katung Babatunde tells us more.
Money, a generally acceptable article for payment of goods and services. It is that singular item that keeps the wheels of every economy running, and this explains why safeguarding the nation's treasury through continuous reforms remains pivotal to governments. It is for this reason that accountants in public service from all over the country are brought together to be equipped with modern reporting tools. Now, this two-day workshop is a continuous reform process aimed at saying that these departments conform to the global standards of reporting the finances of government. Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed is quick to stress government's determination to see the reform process reflect the zero tolerance to corruption being pursued.
It's going to go across all ministries, departments and agencies. The functions have been redefined. There will be additional departments in each of these ministries with heads, and there are new functions that are directly charged with revenue enhancement and revenue controls.
The Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation is always willing to partner with professional offices and agencies on issues that would improve the service and increase capacity of civil servants.
The International Public Sector Accounting Standard IPSAS comes with its benefits, and the Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, talks on the target of mid-2019 for full compliance.
It also involves the state level and the local government level. So there is an engagement that has been going on to bring them up in terms of ideas and knowledge and implementation.
The process will completely restructure finance and accounting departments of all MDAs for uniformity and standardization of their budget and accounting functions to promoting transparency and accountability. In Abuja, I'm Leah Katung Babatunde, NTA News.
Well, the Nigeria-Seme border is reportedly busiest in Africa in terms of movement of goods and services, and with the inauguration of the Nigeria-Benin joint border post at Seme by President Muhammadu Buhari, is going to tremendously contribute to the ease of doing business in West Africa. Paul Omukago has been looking at how the state-of-the-art facilities, now at the disposal of officials of both countries, will change things for the better.
A joint border post before inauguration was characterized by chaos, which often translated into long waiting hours for processing of travelers and goods. However, that is set to change. The new joint border post is structured in a manner that border officials from Nigeria and Benin Republic can conduct both processes in a more collaborative manner. Requisite facilities have been provided to speed up travelers' documentation by trained immigration officials. There are also modern facilities to custom officials to carry out assessment and evaluation of goods with more efficiency. The computerized services provide for tracking and detecting of contraband goods and items inimical to trade in the sub-region.
Officers who misbehave, who violate the rules of ECOWAS, will remove them or discipline them, even derank them. In this place, we will continue to monitor transparency because it's open. And I assure you that it will be done in line with the directive of Mr. President.
It's going to reduce the porosity and the vulnerability of Nigeria to any security threats.
Building that regional integration is really pivotal in terms of having economic development and see real change in terms of better opportunities for trade, more easy travel, less corruption.
Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs says prompt development of the Lagos-Badagry Road will fasten growth of the region.
It's totally unacceptable, the condition of the road, of Lagos to this point. And something has to be done to address it. We're talking of free movement, but if also we cannot have the requisite infrastructure to facilitate that free movement.
The official inauguration of this joint border post is expected to bring integration of the economies and population of both countries.
In another development, West African countries to accept currency notes in second quarter of 2019 as the Nigeria equities market holds 4-day gaining streak. Let's now join Abolade Salami for details of this and more in our business news segment.
Glad to have you join us on the business news segment. The West African Monetary Institute plans to introduce the West African Monetary Zone in the second quarter of 2019. The move will see Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, the Gambia, Liberia, and Guinea accept each other currencies as part of improving payment integration in West Africa.
Within West Africa, I think we've made tremendous progress that we really don't think about. Trade has been growing at an average of 20% per annum for the last 10 years. So that's quite impressive. And our trade levels are now at about $210 billion. And most of that trade is dominated by Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Senegal.
In the meantime, stakeholders in the Nigerian capital market have expressed the importance of market data as an avenue to transform and deepen the market. A capital market ecosystem where digitization is fast gaining momentum, the sale will help cut costs and increase efficiency for greater transparency.
The emergence of XGen, which works on fixed protocol, in 2013 has greatly improved the deepening the market, the Nigerian capital market, quite a big way, and that has brought a lot more people into the market. People that were either too disgruntled with respect to efficiency of trading transactions in the market.
Meanwhile, Nigeria's equities market odds its 4-day gaining streak. That will be in our stock market reports.
Equities markets closed in the red, with the all-share index declining at 32,448.11 basis points. Volume of shares traded was 357 million, valued at 2.26 billion naira. This exchange hands in 3,157 deals. Market capitalization closed at 11.8 trillion naira. Top gainers include Guinness, Fort Oil and Cadbury, gaining 1 naira, 5 kobo and 35 kobo respectively. Nestle losing 13 naira led the losers chart, followed by Dangote Cement with 14 naira and 5 kobo loss, and Flour Mills with 85 kobo loss. And now to Forex. The power market has remained stable, with the US dollars exchanging at 360 naira and 362 naira respectively, while the British pound and euro is exchanged for 475 naira and 416 naira.
Stock Market Report concludes business news segment. News Extra continues shortly. Please stay with us.
The National Assembly, in approving the INEC budget, proposed vehement from the Social Investment Program to fund it. Now, this has dominated discourse and attracted heated debate. The debate continued on NTA Tuesday Live, and Talatu Ezerike brings us the views of participants.
The Social Investment Program, SIP, is one of the projects of the present administration with a yearly budgetary allocation of 500 billion naira to improve the standard of living of Nigerians. Analysts say the social intervention programs that include school feeding program, N-Power, market money, and conditional cash transfer are yielding results.
That Buhari helped me like this. Now so I greet time more say God go help you all your family.
However, following President Muhammadu Buhari's vehement request to the National Assembly of 242 billion naira to fund the 2019 elections, the legislature proposed the funding from the Social Investment Program. That has raised concerns.
If you take away social intervention, you actually have taken 80% of all of President Buhari's promises to the Nigerian people.
There may have been a situation where a president or the executive would have said, what you need, take. I give it to you. Minister of Finance, release. But President Buhari says, look, everything must go through the National Assembly. The National Assembly must look at every dot and every penny of it. And I can only ask it to be released or signed according as approved by the National Assembly, which is the height of transparency.
There are much more.
For the first time ever in the history of Nigeria, transmission will be done electronically. And INEC is saying that by 2023, all things being equal, we are going to do. If that is the case, you will need to procure those machines for balloting. But I wish and I hope that we do not go through this journey anymore, because it makes the whole process look so uncertain.
What I am pushing for is value for money. That people of ideas, people, layman like me, can aspire and become governor without having a deep pocket or looking up to a godfather.
Well, the march to the 2019 election is in earnest, and analysts advise on right actions in building a better Nigeria. Talatu Ezerike, MTN News.
Many thanks, Talatu. Now, in contemporary times, the preservation and defense of peace has become the preoccupation of every nation-state, as the absence of harmony implies a threat to socio-economic development. In observance of this, the Senate has resolved to visit Kaduna State as part of efforts to find a lasting solution to the recurring crisis there and other volatile states in the country. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Onkwo has that report.
The crisis that took place in parts of Kaduna State recently that led to loss of lives and property has continued to attract concern from across the country. Senators at plenary expressing sympathy for victims of these unfortunate incidents urged the government to constitute a committee to carry out a detailed investigation on the cause of this social unrest, bring the perpetrators to justice, and proffer lasting solution. This came in a motion of urgent national importance moved by Senator Suleiman Hunkuyi.
To quicken the process on the release of the paramount ruler of Adara land, the Agwam Adara, the motion puts the spotlight the need for us to embrace peace and tolerance. The relevant security agencies investigate the cause of the incidents with a view to bringing the perpetrators to justice.
The issue of punishing those that are guilty must come in focus.
Never to stand to assist those in need of assistance for food and other medical. If we all agree, we will pick a date where we'll have this. I would suggest it is better probably in a closer session we have that and discuss it frankly.
I think the leadership of the National Assembly should be able to engage the executive arm of government on the implementation of what we have recommended previously.
The legislators also resolved to visit the people of Niger State and the family of late Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Idris Kutigi.
Urge the federal government of Nigeria to immortalize the late Justice Idris Lebo Kutigi.
He served this country meritoriously. We lost him.
It's not just a loss for us in Niger State. It's indeed a loss to this very great country.
It is therefore to his credit that despite the turbulent conference we had in 2014, without anybody fighting the other, we were able to reach 600 important resolutions.
The Senate observed a minute silence in honor of those who lost their lives in the Kaduna crisis and led Justice Idris Kutigi. The issue of erosion also featured on the floor as Senator Mao Ohuabunwa advised the Nigerian Ecological Fund and the Nigeria Erosion and Watershed Management Project to urgently seek permanent solution to the disturbing gully erosion in Isukwato, Uturu and Oguduasa communities in Abia State and other states affected by the natural disaster.
NEMA to quickly provide relief materials to the displaced citizens in the affected communities.
Coastal erosion in Lagos now is unprecedented.
Senate has confirmed the appointment of the commissioners of the Federal Civil Service Commission with Dr. Bello Ingawa as chairman, as it also confirmed the appointment of Lanre Bajabia Miller as Director General of the National Lottery Regulatory Commission. The Senate has adjourned plenary to 6th of November 2018 to enable its relevant committees to carry out oversight on foreign loans and implementation of the 2018 budget. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, MTN News.
Now, a couple of days back, the Nigeria Intelligence Agency placed on some government agencies what was described as red alert over a Chinese drug alleged to have been made with human flesh. The said drug, according to information, was smuggled into the country. This has gotten the House of Representatives worried, prompting it to set in motion an investigation into the matter. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports on this and other issues considered at Wednesday's plenary.
Representative Johnson Abunima, who brought up the issue, noted that agencies alerted include Nigeria Customs Service, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, and the Standards Organization of Nigeria.
Concerned that making a human remains drugs and consuming them are crime against humanity, which can also lead to serious health challenges.
The lawmakers want the importers to be identified and made to face the full wrath of the law. Other matters of urgent importance considered and adopted are the need to investigate non-implementation of a white paper on inquiries into activities of defunct Nigeria Airways from Representative Abiodun Faleke, a call by Representative Rita Oji to cover activities of cultists in parts of Lagos State, Representative Daniel Lirineju's appeal for the dredging of ports in Delta State, and a request for intervention in communities affected by flood disaster in Bayelsa, Rivers, and other states across the country. Among bills passed at second reading are a bill for an act to alter the constitution in order to increase retirement age of judicial officers other than those in Supreme and Courts of Appeal, sponsored by Representative Nkema Bonta, and a bill for an act to amend National Tobacco Act in view of health concerns, sponsored by Representative Tahir Monguno.
The taxes that is levied on tobacco companies is so minimal that it doesn't discourage the production and consumption of tobacco.
At the Committee of the Whole, the House approved and passed the bill for an act to amend the provisions of the Electoral Act after addressing issues raised by President Muhammadu Buhari, such as failure of card reader, substitution of candidates, and omission of name or logo of candidates and political parties. Thursday's plenary paid tribute on the late Chief Justice of Nigeria, Idris Kutigi, and observed a minute's silence in his honor. In the meantime, the House has adjourned to 6 November 2018 to attend to oversight functions. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Coming up, Interior Minister in Kaduna promises more equipment to security agencies to tackle ethno-religious crisis in the country. The details of this and more after these messages.
Sense cannot think, some can think but have no sense. Sister, good morning. I have everything. Can you come to my beautiful? Yeah, she's using my Kumago to take my customer. Totally, we'll do something. 50% discount. Hey, thank you.
Madam, please come inside.
Shut up your mouth.
So you don't know that with low or gas SIM, you can upload your market and get as many customers as you want?
You useless! I said, you begin where you come. You get crazy.
With Glow or gas SIM, enjoy 125% more data to get.
Some have sense and cannot think. Some can think but have no sense.
Since 1971, Nigeria's foremost human capital development institution, the Industrial Training Fund, ITF, has been at the forefront of equipping Nigerians with skills for national growth. Today's ITF has repositioned and refocused its programs, forging new partnerships locally and internationally to effectively deliver on its mandate. With 37 area offices and 5 industrial skills training centers across the country, ITF is pushing to reduce unemployment by providing relevant technical and vocational skills for employability and entrepreneurship in diverse trades and crafts. Whether you're a public or private organization seeking to improve the skills of your personnel or an individual looking to acquire skills that will increase your chances of employment or even to help start your own business, today's ITF has a program for you. Speak to us today. Contact our area offices nationwide or visit our website www.itf.gov.ng. ITF, developing the nation's human resource.
Hello. Hi, Jenny. Can you supply 1,000 bottles of juice by noon? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, bye. Hello.
One day, I go any store and say I want everything.
Jenny. Auntie, please, I need a loan.
One day, anything I want.
Hurry up.
Get it times 2. Someday, I'll be living.
Hello.
Clean that up.
Clean that up.
Because I don't get the money, you downgrade me.
The order is on the way.
Are you an entrepreneur looking for financing to grow a business? I have good news for you. Development Bank of Nigeria now provides sustainable financing through commercial banks, microfinance banks, and other financial institutions with repayment terms of up to 10 years. Please do remember, paying back your loan in good time will give you access to more loans.
Development Bank of Nigeria, financing sustainable growth.
Every new day deserves a great taste for a great start with Nescafe 3-in-1. It all starts with a Nescafe.
Wanna know what's coming, guys? The free beach ball! I guess I'd better start again. Oh, here we go, everybody! Free beach ball! Yes, guys, there's a free beach ball in every carton of Capri Sun. Get a carton, get a ball. It's time to play some more. Way!
Capri Sun, the taste of fun. House of Cheese.
The Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, and African Image presents Nigerian Sports Book of Records 1884 to 2017, a 133 years detailed history and achievements of sports in Nigeria. Special guest of honor, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chairman of the occasion, Dr. Oji Uzokalo, MON. Date 30th October 2018. Venue, International Conference Center, Turkey, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. For inquiries, call on 0802-860-6627, 0803-897-1997, 0805-465-4 3056. Barrister Solomon Silka Dalung, Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development. Announcer.
I'm glad to know you're still out there watching. Now to the issue of women. For those familiar with the biblical story of creation, just as history was recorded in the Garden of Eden, that a woman played a major role in influencing the turnout of mankind today, the momentum is on, as can be seen displayed in their efforts towards nation building. And to maintain this status, more women are being challenged to embrace leadership roles in the country. Miriam Akpata tells us more.
With the 2019 elections by the corner, the question of women in leadership is resonating, and the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development is in the forefront, crusading for active participation of more women inclusion in governance. However, acknowledging the Buhari-led administration's sensitivity to the women folk, these gathering of women drawn from various professions are asking for more, just as it was with Oliver Twist.
Assist women because women are reformers, women are builders.
Government is out to help us. This particular workshop will help you to have a mental renovation about who God had ordained you to be.
Many women are coming out now. Not only in leadership, but in politics. You see women in the Senate, in House, in everywhere. And like us, for example, in the prisons, it's hard to see a man allow his woman to come out. Yeah. But now, women are coming out.
Yeah. It will take more than just a motivated resistance to overturn years of systematic inequality and create opportunities for more female leaders by employing a few key strategies that will combat the gender gap and move the nation towards greater leadership balance. In Abuja, Miriam Akpata, NTA News.
I couldn't agree more, Miriam. Now, the Minister of Interior, Abdurrahman Dambazau, has reiterated federal government's commitment to re-equipping security agencies towards combating ethno-religious crisis. The minister said this when officials of the ministry visited Kaduna on an assessment of the scenes of the recent crisis. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun has that report.
The crisis started on a market day at Kasuwar Magani, some kilometers away from Kaduna, leading to loss of lives and property. The crisis later spilled over to Kaduna metropolis and environs. In its efforts to curb further destructions, Kaduna state government imposed 24-hour curfew. The delegation from the Ministry of Interior, led by Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, who stood in for Minister of Interior Abdurrahman Bello Dambazau, visited the affected areas to assess the level of damages caused by the crisis.
And we are equally here to also assure the state government that this administration is 100% behind them and what they are doing in terms of maintenance of the security.
We are satisfied with the cooperation, the support we have from the federal government, the support we have from the Minister of Interior in assisting us with all that we need. The security infrastructure that is under the control of the federal government is being made available to us at all times. And this has helped us immensely to quell the crisis.
With the gradual return of normalcy, the State Security Council will reconvene to review the curfew with a view to relaxing it. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun, NTA News.
And from Kaduna, we take you to Calabar, the Cross River State capital, where the crocodile is smiling again. Now, this time it's smiling into Cross River State, and you know what happens when the Nigerian Army's crocodile begins to smile. Those causing security breaches take off. Now, personnel of the 82 Division of the Nigerian Army have commenced Operation Crocodile Smile 3 in Ikang in Bakassi, local government area of the state. The target is to rout bunkerers, kidnappers and militancy, and also boost the confidence of the troops.
The Operation Crocodile Smile 3 is a military exercise aimed at impacting the troops with operational skills through adherence to rules of engagement, inter-service and inter-agency cooperation, as well as equipment maintenance. It also seeks to reassure the public of Nigerian Army's readiness to fight crimes like cultism, militancy and kidnapping.
Cross River State has a wider coverage of the maritime domain, and so training within the maritime domain and training on land. But most importantly is to flush out criminals within Cross River States and specifically in the creeks and on land, to also recover arms from people who are legally not entitled to carrying arms.
With a proper collaboration, the security of Cross River State and indeed Nigeria can actually be brought into control.
The exercise will also feature the provision of social welfare services to the host communities. From Ikang, Bakassi local government area, Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
Now, like the saying, without arms and ammunition, a nation is not secured. Likewise, with more of it in circulation, the nation is also at risk. Addressing the latter is what prompted key players meeting on small arms by the West African Action Network on Small Arms and the National Bureau of Statistics. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello was there and has more.
Of the United Nations data, now we have about 7 million or whatever number of arms in circulation in the sub-region, and that 70% or so is domiciled in Nigeria.
We want to have a patrol base whereby we have some officers that are trained that will be patrolling those areas that are not covered by the structured order.
Those were contributions from key players geared towards initiating the conduct of a survey on unsanctioned access to small arms in the country. The objective of the survey is to develop a tracking mechanism to help check illicit activities and proliferation from non-state actors. In line with the international agreement of coordinating global commitments towards addressing proliferation and misuse of small arms, development of a robust database becomes imperative.
So for us to be able to have the full awareness on the proliferation of small arms in Nigeria, we have to design a good technique of even compiling this data.
If the Nigerian Army, if they are here, they can come up because they are also doing disarmaments. How many have you destroyed? We have the police, they are mopping up arms. They can come up with what they have. We have immigration. Some of them are in the border communities. They can as well help us.
The survey is to also provide a template that will address the fault line nature and the flow of small arms in the country. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Nigerian judges are being trained to cope with the dynamic nature of the banking sector in order to address pertinent issues that may arise. Omenka Omarachukwu reports that the training by Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, and the National Judicial Institute, NJI, is expected to equip the participants and the realization of the core mandate of the NDIC.
That is an acknowledgement from the judges participating in a one-day sensitization workshop on banking sector. Themed Challenges to Deposit Insurance Law and Practice in Nigeria. These High Court judges from the FCT and states are expected to be in a better position to deal with complex financial disputes.
A sound competitive banking system is therefore critical to a nation's economic vitality. Banks have traditionally performed the important function of intermediating between lenders and borrowers by providing a liquid savings vehicle for small and large investors alike. This is with a view to sustain public confidence in the judiciary.
The NDIC, which put up the seminar in collaboration with National Judicial Institute, wants to remove the challenges hindering the execution of its mandate and other regulators in the financial sector.
We have been setting these examples in Africa, and in fact, the establishment of bridge banks has been one of our landmark achievements in ensuring the resolution of failed banks and in ensuring that we engender confidence and trust of Nigerians in the banking system.
There is optimism here that such trainings will assist in solving legal challenges in the financial sector. In Abuja, Omenka Mrachuku, NTA News. Well, the judiciary has always been the last hope of the common man through its interpretation of the law as enacted by the legislative arm and being executed by the executive arm of government. A strong judiciary is a panacea to jungle justice and breakdown of law and order. It is in the light of this that the Economic Community of West African States established the ECOWAS Court to adjudicate over civil cases without any jurisdiction on criminal matters. In this report, Dele Atumbi takes a look at the import of the court's retreat, bordering on its jurisprudence underway in Abuja.
The convergence of these jurists and other legally minded persons from the West African sub-region is not just for the fun of it, but a serious business on ways to review the jurisprudence of the court. One of the issues which this sub-regional court faces is the reduction of the judges from 7 to 5 in spite of the increase in the cases coming before it. This ordinarily will slow down adjudication on matters within its jurisdiction. In saving the sub-region on the danger inherent in this development, the jurists who were appointed in August this year are trying to find ways out of the situation.
The reduction in the number of judges from 7 to 5 and the delay in the translation of court processes, both of which impede the effectiveness of the court. This is particularly poignant with the increased number of cases on the court's docket, currently at 107 pending cases, a number that is expected to increase looking at the current trends.
We can only do what is possible humanly speaking, and so we'll do our best to speedily reduce the numbers of cases by working harder and sitting more often and clearing the backlog that we can, humanly speaking.
This is to avert justice delay, an axiom that is tantamount to justice denied. Other areas of interest are access to court, jurisdiction, human rights mandate, ECOWAS community legal order, practices and procedure, and the enforcement of the judgment of the court. To its credit, between 2004 and 2018, the sub-regional court delivered 318 decisions comprising 190 judgments, 105 rulings, 18 revision judgments, and 5 advisory opinions.
The 10 judicial retreats of ECOWAS Court of Justice will in the next 4 days extract the jurisprudence of the court between 2004 and 2018. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
The immediate past governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, made his second appearance within the week today at the Federal High Court, Ikoyi, to answer to all count charge of embezzling 30.8 billion naira. He was, however, granted bail to the tune of 50 million naira by Justice Mojisola Olatoregun. Abolore Agbara reports that the former governor is being prosecuted by the Nigeria Anti-Graft Agency, the EFCC.
Ayodele Fayose was charged with 30.8 billion naira fraud. The former governor is being persecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, alongside his company, Spotless Investment Limited, on an 11-count charge. Fayose pleaded not guilty of the alleged offenses, which include the sum of 1.2 billion naira for purposes of funding his gubernatorial election in Ekiti State. receipt of $5 million, which is about 18 billion naira from the former Minister of State for Defense, Senator Musili Obanikoro, as well as 1.6 billion naira allegedly spent to acquire properties in Lagos and Abuja. Justice Mojisola Olatoregun granted him bail in the sum of 50 million naira with two sureties who must issue a 50 million naira bond in a reputable bank, as well as possess 3 years tax clearance in the state. In addition, the sureties must have landed property in Lagos. The judge also directed the former governor to submit his international passport to the court. Justice Mojisola Olatoregun thereafter adjourned trial to the 19th of November in Lagos. Abolore Ogbara, NT News.
Tales of two road projects in Umuahia and Akure that have endeared the people to government. This, plus the brand new international wing of the Port Harcourt Airport. That's the outlook when we return in just a moment. Join us again.
What's up?
His friends didn't come.
Hey, let's practice.
But you're going out.
Don't worry about me.
Nothing satisfies a mother more than seeing a child grow up. But I know as he sweats, he'll face the risk of germs which can cause skin irritation.
That's why you need the new best ever Dettol Cool. Its new advanced formulation with extra menthol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs and gives your family icy cool freshness.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Nigeria we hail. Those who divide our people are getting better at their game. Yet, now we did do ourselves pass. Lecturer they oppress student them. Bus driver they show passenger where? Local government people are terrifying local government people. Campaign people will come and go. Grammar people will remain. So now, many people have become Uncle Thomases, unwilling to desire or work for a better nation. We must continue to push and believe, and small, our prayers will be answered. This education you go get down. These children, then go grow and prosper. And this business, they not go spoil for your hand, because Union Bank understands what it means to push through challenges, and together we go clear every doubt when they are our way. Don't be an Uncle Thomas. Union Bank, your simpler, smarter bank.
You in the air-conditioned office with the itchy throat. Strepsils. Girl in the spotlight with the raspy throat. Strepsils. You in the pollution. It's you. Dry throat. Strepsils. Hello in the downpour with the scratchy throat. Take Strepsils.
Strepsils, with its soothing medicinal ingredients, will heal the harm done to your throat from external factors.
Strepsils. Strepsils.
Strepsils, for a dry, itchy, raspy, scratchy throat.
Mama's cooking. Let's help her. Wait! My mama says before touching food, you should wash your hands with Safeguard soap.
But my hands are clean.
Can't see germs, but they're everywhere.
Look on the special blue light. To protect against germs, I recommend regularly using Safeguard antibacterial soap, as Safeguard is scientifically tested to remove 99% of germs.
That is why me, my mommy, my daddy, and my brother regularly use Safeguard, washing germs away.
Hey kids, the holidays are over, but the excitement is still on. Draw what you did in your holidays, and you stand a chance to win your dream holiday. Follow 3 simple steps to enter. Step 1, draw your holiday experience. Step 2, snap a picture. Step 3, send picture, name and address to the WhatsApp number 0902 588 8888. Hurry! Go grab your Indomie packs now. Offer valid till stocks last. Terms and conditions apply. Indomie noodles. Tasty nutrition. Good for you.
Your favorite Maggi star now wears a new look. Its great taste and quality still remain the same. With Maggi, every woman is a star.
Fake news which is shared for malicious purposes is a danger to our peace and security in Nigeria. Misinformation as fake news is a serious threat to our hard-earned democracy and promotes hatred and misunderstanding between our communities. We are all responsible for stopping the spread of fake news in its tracks. So, always check the source and credibility of any news item. Say no to fake news. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
You're welcome back. You're still watching MTN News Extra, reaching you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. Now, there is this Road Safety Commission slang that trended a few years ago. It went like this: we say, we do. Now, that slang fits perfectly on the shoulders of President Muhammadu Buhari, who has been saying and doing. The latest is the state-of-the-art international wing of the Port Harcourt International Airport. Onengie Fine Face reports that the world-class infrastructure is ready for commissioning.
The new international terminal of the Port Harcourt International Airport is fitted with state-of-the-art facilities with spacious lounges, waiting halls, boarding gates and high-tech cooling systems. With the innovative technology deployed in the construction of the airport, passengers can expect the best of service from the check-in counters through the screening machines and other beautifully crafted sections of the terminal.
We are just preparing for the commissioning by His Excellency Mr. President. Inside the terminal building, we are just cross-checking the installations, like the escalators, the check-in counters, just to make sure that everything is okay. As soon as Mr. President commissions the building tomorrow, we'll be ready for operations.
Staff and management of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria are already on ground in Port Harcourt to give finishing touches to the facility preparatory to its inauguration by President Muhammadu Buhari. The brand new terminal is a product of a bilateral agreement entered with the government of the People's Republic of China in 2013 and is being replicated in Abuja, Kano and Lagos. In Port Harcourt, Onengie Fine Face, MTN News.
Well, I can't wait to see what it looks like. If you're also interested, stay with the NTA for a live telecast of the commissioning tomorrow, Thursday. Now, one area the federal government has received accolades is on infrastructural development. Just look around you. If it's not road, electricity, bridge, housing, you must find something going on. Now, for the Ohafia Arochukwu communities in Abia State, the commencement of reconstruction work on the federal highway in the area is a gesture that demonstrates purposeful leadership under the watch of President Muhammadu Buhari. Dennis Temple, work on the Ohafia Arochukwu Federal Highway has commenced. Let's see it.
The Ohafia Arochukwu residents and the entire users of the Ohafia Arochukwu Federal Highway will now heave a sigh of relief following the resumption of the reconstruction of the federal road. Community leaders of the area said the commencement of work on the road, abandoned over 50 years, is a demonstration of a purposeful leadership under the watch of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Let this road be taken back to the level even beyond when Okpara built it in the 60s. It was solid. In the 60s, it was solid.
Senator Mao Uwabuma urged the youths and the community leaders to continue to show support and encourage the contractors in order to deliver the project on record time.
This road was a dead trap. This road became our albatross. But we thank God today, and you knew what we've had forth and back, award, not awarded, but today it's very clear after the federal government and the Federal Executive Council finally approved this road, and our joy is that it's awarded to a reputable known company, and you can see today we are at their site.
The project, cutting across 20 communities and beyond, will ease off transport and reduce excessive economic waste encountered by heavy truck drivers that ply the highway. In Umuahia, Dennis Temple, MTN News.
Meanwhile, passengers traversing the southwest to the northern part of the country can now heave sighs of relief as the Ondo state government has commenced rehabilitation work on the failed portions of the Owo-Ikare Expressway, which has been in a state of disrepair. Doris Olumoko will now tell us when travelers' sighs of relief will be smiles.
Owo-Ikare Expressway, a major arterial road said to be of immense economic value to the country. Tochukwu Odibo, a luxurious bus conductor, has been plying the highway for 9 years now because it is the fastest route from Lagos to stay to the north. But the freight portion of the road in Ose Oba Akoko is substantially making the road a misfortune for the likes of Tochukwu.
This vehicle is coming from Lagos. We are going to Abuja, Kano State. So as we did, we are coming to this place. My motor broke one tire and one balloon for this place. That is a bad road.
We don't even have road at all.
The Ondo State government has, however, moved in to halt further deterioration of the road. Contractors have been mobilized to sites and work commenced on the repairs.
We will create all the drainage, the necessary drainage and the cross culvert to take the water out to the bush. Because the main problem of this road is the water that was stagnating here.
We are doing the failed portions, which the governor has said we will do. We will start from this place to finish this way, move to the next portion.
I really need to say big thank you, state government, because this place is a federal road.
With this Ondo State government intervention, there is assurance that all the freight portions of the Owo-Ikare Expressway will be searched before the federal government will come in for a total rehabilitation in Owo. Doris Olumoko, MTN News.
Nigeria's major telecommunication company, MTN, is offering its subscribers more talk time and data for browsing with the launch of a special product, Extra Value. Dotun Oguyemi was at the unveiling of this product in Lagos.
After collating the needs of subscribers over the years, MTN Nigeria says the product, Extra Value, is an enhancement of the plan initiated in 2016 to address the diverse interactive habits of users of the brand.
Depending on which kind of user you are, you can use more of data, so you buy extra data, or if you are more of airtime user or voice user, you buy extra talk, but at the same price point.
Available in 2 bundles, Extra Talk and Extra Data. The plans come with 8 different price points to cater to all classes of subscribers.
It's a one-stop shop, and it's something that I believe will meet the needs of virtually everybody around listening, watching us right now that have as a telecoms needs or carries a phone.
The manager, High Value Segment, MTN Nigeria, while unveiling the brand's latest promotional materials, including a television commercial featuring Dakore Akonde, revealed that the service is available to users across 41 countries.
To continue to promise our customers is that we'll continue to provide optimal experience to them and the utmost value to them. Imagine getting both data and voice at just 2,000 naira. 2,000 naira, 500 talk time, and 2.5 gig data. It's amazing, right?
Yeah. Because it's a new thing and I had to also experience it, and I was like, wow, this is really amazing.
MTN says to get started, subscribers need to dial *131*2# to enjoy Extra Value on talk and data on its 4G network, or visit the website mtnonline/extra value for more details. In Lagos, Dotun Oguyemi, NTA News.
Inadequate funding, poor welfare for teachers, obsolete curriculum, and infrastructure have been identified as major challenges militating the growth of the education sector in the country. Union Bank Nigeria PLC organized a forum, Edu 360, to collaborate with key players on how to take the education sector to the next level. Nenrot Nina Musa has that report.
360 by Union Bank is a holistic annual approach to engaging the education stakeholders with a view to banking the value chain and identifying opportunities for growth across the bank. School administrators, educators, parents, children, as well as service providers had seminars, training workshops, and mentorship sessions to brainstorm on ways to achieve success.
If we get together as educators and, continue this discussion and know what we want, it's a plus on our part.
Union Bank is doing a great job at that right now, bringing exhibitors, educators, partners, and bringing students together.
Head of Corporate Communications and Marketing, Union Bank, Ogochukwu Ekeze Ekaidem, said the two-day education fair is geared towards achieving Sustainable Development Goals, SDG Goal 4 in Nigeria.
What we've tried to do is bring together all the stakeholders in the education sector to come together to discuss issues surrounding the education sector and to foster sort of collaboration and development, especially from the private sector.
Facilitators at the fair who spoke on the topic Alternative Education, Digital Tools for Learning, unanimously agreed that the 21st century child is a technology-driven child.
We're not just here to teach a child get all A stars. We're here to teach a child to be a person, to be useful to themselves.
Organizers say no amount of money invested in education is too much. Hence the need to leverage on platforms such as this, where key players discuss challenges as well as profile workable solutions is paramount. In Lagos, Narot Nina Musa, NTA News.
The senator representing Akwa Ibom Northwest, Godswill Apabio, says the impact of President Muhammadu Buhari-led government in Akwa Ibom State is unprecedented. He stated this at the flag-off of entrepreneurship and agricultural reimbursement grant for his senatorial district. Imo Etim Udo has that report.
Entrepreneurship and agricultural disbursement grants initiated and sponsored by Senator Godswill Akpabio and supervised by Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, had over 420 beneficiaries drawn from across Ikorekpene Senatorial District who received 250,000 naira each. Senator Godswill Akpabio said the initiative is in line with the directive of President Muhammadu Buhari that the people of Nigeria must be empowered.
We are just following the philosophy of the president. The president said he was voted in for the ordinary people of Nigeria, not for the elite. So the elite can have their say, but the ordinary people will have their way. I know the millions belong to the ordinary people.
Governorship candidate of the APC in Akwa Ibom State, Obong Sima Ikere, and other stakeholders of the party commended Senator Akpabio on the initiative.
So I want to congratulate the senator and wish and pray that other representatives in other parts of the state and country is representing the party very well.
Happy because he has done so much than my expectation.
The empowerment program also witnessed the defection of former party chairman of the People's Democratic Party PDP in the state and others into the APC family. In Ikorekpene, Akwa Ibom State, more NTA.
Up ahead, Information and Culture Minister on a power bike. Don't panic, he's all right. We'll tell you what he was doing on a bike after these messages. Join us again.
When it comes to 30,000 naira, 30,000 naira to somebody is 1 million naira.
I just applied online. I did not know anybody.
I'm under carpenting. I was given saw, bar, tenant saw, hammer.
Federal government is able to mobilize me by giving me one iPad to aid me in carrying out my exercise.
So the money that was given to me, I was able to establish some little farm, and this building we are standing on.
I also have goats that I train.
But with the exception of the Empower, I've been able to do some little contribution that have actually helped me to put the money together and been able to service people.
My thanks goes to the President, President Muhammadu Buhari, for this thing that he has done for the youth of Nigeria. So we are grateful.
Brought us as usual.
As usual. You have no problem.
For the three put
You are welcome, sir.
as usual, yeah? I was
You take that one. You take that one. You don't understand? We want Nigerian homegrown rice. Finish. You don't have? You don't have?
Join the rice revolution today.
no other rice that tastes like Nigerian rice. Are you sorry? That's the Nigerian rice we are talking about. Chocolate made in Nigerian rice. Healthy food. I'm going to bring Mrs. Mobu to come to chocolate rice of made in Nigeria here. And see how it are made.
Correct.
And how they are cook it.
Correct.
Homegrown rice are good for your health. It boosts our economy and give employment to our people.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Experience, they say, is the best teacher.
They hold us from the sea. Thank God that we came back home. They should not go there because it's not good. It's a very bad place. So they just may have us. Even now, sir, if they are shooting the boat they are going to use to go Italy, may they stop it. Our country is good. Our country is a blessed country. Now I know our country is a blessed country. I know before I for not travel from Nigeria to Libya. I know how much I spent.
Let these personal experiences serve as a lesson to all who would repeat their mistakes. A word is enough for the wise.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTN.
This is NTN News Extra. We're glad to have you back with us. Now, what comes to mind when you hear the word bikers? Probably a bunch of risk takers, or perhaps some unserious group of fun lovers, right? Well, a group of power bikers are on a mission. This time, they are crisscrossing 11 states of the Federation to visit 100 monument sites. A tour geared towards harnessing the economic potentials of tourism. Gufan Shaji tells us that the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, also powered a bike.
Indeed, your eyes are not deceiving you. That's the Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed. He is definitely not trying any of these, but absolutely showing solidarity and support for the rediscovered heritage bikers who are set for a tour across the country. This tour is to awaken the curiosity of Nigerians to explore the wonders of Nigeria's natural beauty. Setting off the bikers, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, describes this initiative as a green shoot of economic recovery and a project aimed at attracting foreign and direct tourism investments critical to Nigeria's economic development.
In line with our ambition to make tourism a veritable income earner for this nation. I hope you all enjoy the tour and go back to your individual countries with good memories and good testimonies.
Tourism is one of our missions. Our other mission is to promote peace, love, and harmony.
So we appeal to all and sundry to join hands with us to use this project in making Nigeria one of the most important tourism destinations in the world.
Just as warriors are sent off to the war front, these bikers were also set up for a smooth ride across the designated states with these display of Nigeria's rich cultural heritage. The bikers have 2 weeks to visit the selected national and world heritage cultural asset sites, museums, and monuments. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji, NTN News.
It will appear that wonders shall never end in Nigeria, or how else would one explain how a country known and famous for stew and jollof rice would be importing stew, of all things. Well, the Customs Strike Force team, in its aggressive and anti-smuggling operation, made this shocking seizure in Lagos when it intercepted a container loaded with 28 million naira worth of cooked stew. You heard me right, cooked stew. Michael Olalaye reports that the jars of stew and other edible items were imported from China.
This 40-feet container was seized for false declaration. At a closer examination, the customs discovered that the container was loaded with various Chinese products that appear like supermarket goods. On further examination, the officers' discovery couldn't be imagined: jars of stew.
Now has the system degenerated to this level that we are importing stew?
It is one of the contrabands imported from China, with the customs declaring that the container has 28 million naira worth of the stew. The seizure, though scary, is just one of the numerous interceptions, as the team also seized 11 trailers load of rice, with some concealed in this manner. Other contraband seized include 534 kegs of 25-liter vegetable oil, about 5,000 pieces of used tires, 315 bales of used clothes, 27 units of used fridges, and 4 vehicles. The national coordinator of the Customs Strike Force team, Deputy Controller Abdullahi Kirawa, who reeled out the measures put in place at the nation's port to guide against stockpiling of arms, enjoined the public to take advantage of the single platform window and follow import procedures.
Smugglers should desist from their nefarious activities and engage in legitimate trade and legitimate business, because the environment has been made for them to thrive in their legitimate businesses.
The Customs Strike Force team replaced the compliance team early this year in a tactical approach to reinvigorate the fight against smuggling activities. In Lagos, Michael Olalaye, MTN News.
Well, don't ask me what is in that stew. Now, moving on to health. Are you aware that today is World Polio Day? Well, if you don't, let me inform you that Nigeria is employing new and creative platforms to eradicate polio. An initiative which employs documentary as a medium of sensitization has unveiled a strategy with NTA as a partner in the push to battle the scourge. Fisayo Ogunfuyi now reports.
Nigeria's picturesque setting, the warmth of its people, and their collective aspirations get less airtime than their travails. Perhaps that is why the unending battle against polio continues to leave a bitter taste in the mouth. Polio in the nation's north is like a stubborn cactus in its last vestiges of life, with an imminent final push to extinction being mounted.
How do we ensure that no child ever suffers this disease ever again?
This story is now being told by young documentary producers with a passion to tell the African story the African way. The African International Documentary Festival Foundation, AFIDFF, offers such a platform and selected Dorcas Bello's Not All Darkness as the best of 24 documentaries submitted for this year's campaign.
Nigerians telling Nigerian story about polio eradication initiatives in their own way and in a beautiful way.
The Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, represented, gave tips on the technical aspects of documentary production and content development.
A simple description of documentary identifies it as a non-fictional motion picture intended to document some aspects of reality, primarily for the purposes of instruction, education, or maintaining a historical record.
A lot of our stories are not said the right way, so we needed a platform that our African documentarians, that are underprivileged journalists and documentarians can come up and see the stories of what we have in Africa.
The African International Documentary Festival Foundation says it is currently putting finishing touches to its documentary festival billed for 2019. In Abuja, Fisayo Ogunfuyi, NTA News.
Well, Tourism, without any fear of contradiction, is a global money spinner. With Nigeria's colorful festivals, traditions and culture, the country should be tapping from this cultural endowment. Well, I can tell you that Cross River State seems to be aware of this gold mine, as it has since been tapping it. Now it's another end of year approaching, and it's smart that the state government is starting early. Already, the first day for the Carnival, Calabar, an annual cultural extravaganza, has been flagged off by Governor Ben Ayadi. Uduak Etim says the governor is promising a bigger show of Africa's biggest street party.
Let the show begin.
The Carnival Dry Run, which signals the commencement of activities ahead of the main festival in Calabar, is to enable participants, especially the 5 competing bands, Seagull, Master Blaster, Freedom, among others, to acquaint themselves with the 12-kilometer routes. Governor Ben Ayade, represented by his deputy Professor Ivaresu, said, with the theme of this year's carnival tagged Africanism, it is time for Africans to change their perception of slavery, pains and suffering with a view to building a positive mindset of regaining history of glory and dignity.
I believe that indeed, if Africans can get themselves together, we can win back our position in the world.
Carnival Calabar, over the years, has promoted talent and creativity in young Nigerians.
Africanism, the theme for this year, is a very empathic, passionate, and thought-provoking theme.
We are so proud with this tourism and economic development brought to the state to showcase the state to the entire world.
Participants believe the energetic march will help them perform well during the main festival. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
Coming up next, the life and times of the late Justice Idris Kutigi, plus the weather forecast for Thursday. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
With heavy hearts but a total submission to God, the Igbo family announced the passing away of their mother, wife, sister and aunt, Mrs. Christiana Oyumo Igbo, who slept in the Lord on the 17th of October 2018. Burial arrangements are as follows. Thursday the 25th of October 2018.